Life has a way of testing you when you least expect it. One day, everything seems fine, you're making progress, you're hopeful, you're planning, and then suddenly the ground beneath you feels unstable. Money gets tight, relationships strain, health falters, opportunities disappear, and questions begin to rise in your mind. You start asking yourself why this is happening, why it's so hard, and whether you have what it takes to keep going. I've learned something over the years, and that is this: life does not ask for your permission before it gets tough, but it does ask for your response once it does. I remember meeting a man many years ago who looked like life had worn him down. His shoulders were heavy, his eyes carried disappointment, and his voice had lost its confidence. We sat together on a quiet afternoon, and I asked him a simple question. I said, "What happened?" He looked at me and said, "Life happened." He had worked hard, done what he thought was right, trusted people who let him down, and faced setbacks that shook his belief in himself. But the real problem wasn't what had happened to him. It was what had started happening inside him. He had allowed life's pressure to convince him that he was weaker than his circumstances. Here's what I've learned, and this is important. Tough times do not come to destroy you. They come to reveal you. They show you what you are made of and what you still need to become. Strength is not something you feel when life is easy. Strength is something you practice when life is difficult. Anyone can stay positive when things are going well, but it takes character, discipline, and inner control to stay strong when life gets tough. You see, life will test you in seasons. There will be seasons of growth and seasons of resistance. Just like the farmer understands that winter does not mean the land is dead, only resting, you must understand that your hard times are not the end of your story. They are preparation. They are training grounds. They are shaping your mindset, your patience, your resilience, and your wisdom. The strongest people you admire today were once people who had every reason to quit, but made a decision not to. Staying strong does not mean pretending everything is fine. It means refusing to let difficulty decide your direction. It means you acknowledge the pain, but you don't surrender your future to it. I've seen people go through financial struggle and come out wiser, disciplined, and focused. I've seen people face rejection and later realize it was redirection. I've seen people lose and then learn how to win properly. Life teaches, but only if you're willing to listen instead of complain. One of the greatest lessons I ever learned is that you cannot control everything that happens to you, but you can always control how you respond. When life gets tough, most people do one of two things. They either become bitter or they become better. Bitter people replay the pain, blame the world, and carry their disappointment into every new opportunity. Better people take responsibility, learn the lesson, adjust their approach, and keep moving forward. The difference is not intelligence, talent, or luck. The difference is mindset. Strength begins in the mind before it ever shows up in action. If you tell yourself that you can't handle this, your body and spirit will follow that command. But if you tell yourself that this is difficult but temporary, that this challenge is shaping you, then something powerful happens inside you. You begin to stand a little taller. You breathe differently. You think more clearly. You stop reacting emotionally and start responding intentionally. That's the kind of strength that carries people through storms. Let me tell you something practical. When life gets tough, simplify. Most people fall apart not because one thing went wrong, but because everything feels overwhelming at once. Strength is built by focusing on what you can do today. Just today. Make the call, take the walk, read the page, save the dollar, improve the skill, encourage yourself. You don't have to solve your entire life in 1 week. You just have to do the next right thing with discipline and self-respect. I once heard a phrase that stuck with me. Don't wish for less problems, wish for more skills. Tough times expose gaps in our preparation. They show us where we need to grow. Instead of asking why this is happening to you, ask what this is teaching you. That question alone can change your emotional state and restore your sense of control. Strength grows when you treat difficulty as instruction rather than punishment. Another key to staying strong is guarding your environment. When life gets hard, your mind becomes more vulnerable to negativity. The voices you listen to matter. The conversations you engage in matter. The thoughts you allow to repeat matter. If you surround yourself with people who constantly complain, criticize, and predict failure, you will absorb that energy. But if you surround yourself with people who speak truth, accountability, and possibility, you will find strength even on your weakest days. There is also something to be said about patience. Most people want the pain to end immediately, but growth does not operate on your preferred timeline. Strength is built slowly, quietly, and often invisibly. Just like muscles grow after resistance, not comfort, your inner strength develops after pressure, not ease. Be patient with yourself. You are not failing because you are struggling. You are growing because you are enduring. One of the biggest mistakes people make during tough times is comparing their journey to someone else's highlight reel. Everyone has a behind-the-scenes story that you don't see. Everyone faces doubt, fear, and moments of weakness. The difference is that some people keep moving forward despite those feelings. Strength is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to act in spite of it. Let me say this clearly. You are stronger than you think, but only if you demand more of yourself than life demands of you. Life will apply pressure. Your job is to apply purpose. Life will test your patience. Your job is to strengthen your character. Life will challenge your confidence. Your job is to reinforce your belief through action. Confidence is not built by waiting for motivation. Motivation is built by keeping promises to yourself, especially when it's hard. There is a moral lesson in every tough season, and it is this: you cannot control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. Complaining about the storm does not move the boat. Discipline does, faith does, consistency does. Staying strong means choosing responsibility over resentment, growth over comfort, and long-term character over short-term relief. I think back to that man I mentioned earlier. Months later, I saw him again. He looked different, not because life had suddenly become easy, but because he had changed how he faced it. He told me he stopped asking life to be fair and started asking himself to be better. He learned to wake up with purpose, manage his emotions, and do the work regardless of how he felt. And slowly, quietly, things began to change. That's how it works. Not with dramatic breakthroughs every day, but with steady progress over time. Staying strong when life gets tough is not about heroic moments. It's about daily decisions. It's about getting up when you don't feel like it, choosing hope when pessimism feels easier, and acting with integrity when shortcuts tempt you. So here's the truth you need to hear. Tough times are not a signal to quit. They are a signal to rise. They are shaping you into someone capable of handling the success, responsibility, and opportunity that lies ahead. If life trusted you with this challenge, it's because you have the capacity to grow through it. Stand firm, stay disciplined, protect your mindset, learn the lesson, keep moving forward. One day, you will look back at this season and realize it didn't break you, it built you. And the strength you developed during this time will become the foundation for everything you achieve next. That is the reward of staying strong when life gets tough.